Long-term observers still in the field, in some cases still in coalition. Absolutely tragic that 21 people, according to our latest information, lost their lives in election-related violence, and that's really unacceptable, and we want to pass our condolences to the families of those who lost their lives. And again, I would emphasize that if anybody has information relating to these incidents, that they should share it with appropriate legal authorities. And by any standards, when this kind of activity happens in the context of an election, it is almost inevitable that it has the effect of suppressing voter participation. And unfortunately, that is something that was very clearly seen on Saturday, where the high level of violence unfortunately had that effect. And these are standards of voter participation that are central to Nigeria's commitments in its own legislation and the international covenants that it's already signed up to. So we are saddened to share that information with you, but unfortunately that is the reality. There was an improvement in the operation of technology. We saw not only the operation of the technology, but the overall functioning of the election from the opening of the polling units. Most of our observers noted that the polling units opened on time. Most of them observed that the rules were observed faithfully, but there were some issues, particularly around the secrecy of the casting of ballots, noted by many of our observers in polling units across the states. And this is an area, obviously, for improvement. But the most notable improvement was in the operation of the results viewing platform, where the promise of real-time opportunity to see the uploading of results was fulfilled in most cases. So there certainly was an improvement, but I would also add that there was a much lower turnout, which put less pressure on the electoral infrastructure that was operated on Saturday compared to the presidential. There has been widespread evidence of thuggery and of intimidation and political violence during the course of the elections that took place on Saturday. This doesn't in any way undermine our commitment as a mission to deepening the roots of democracy in Africa. We'll never turn our back on that mission. And we are honoured to be here at the invitation of INEC, with the cooperation of all the authorities, and with the enthusiasm, by the way, of civil society and political participants. We'll never turn our back on that mission. We take that very seriously. I did refer in my opening comments to the danger of democratic backsliding, and I think that is something that all of us want to avoid seeing happening. But if we were to simply pull up our tent and walk away, I think that's not something anybody would like to see us do. So we are committed for this, not only for this mission, but for the future, and we will continue to work towards those aims.